There was a summer where my ankle just swelled up and was swollen for 3-4 months.
Wow.
And so then I keep reading on. He says, and the Lord said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. Her power is made perfect in weakness.
It's my favorite verse. Side note. Oh.
It's a quote that I actually got from your book, but it was like, God doesn't love you because you play sport, but he does love that about you.
Mm-hmm. The Fierce Athlete Podcast is here to empower female athletes to thrive in their God-given identity and femininity. You are a daughter of God, fully feminine, fully strong. Welcome back, everyone, to the Fierce Athlete Podcast. I am your host, Sam Kelley, and we are back this week with Father Ben Keller, Dominican priest, and also former college baseball player. If you didn't listen to our episode last week, I would really encourage you to go back because Father shares his story about growing up in Minnesota, about faith, about being a college baseball player, and ultimately about discerning his call to the priesthood. We are back with him this week to hear how the Lord really transformed his heart as a priest, as an athlete, but then also to hear more about the spiritual life. He has so much wisdom to offer us. And so let's dive in. How did you work through that? Because I imagine most of our listeners, athletes, some retired, some preparing for retirement, some dealing with injury. And even if they're at the top of their game right now, like this is a principle that we all need to learn because it sets us free. So what was that process like for you and how did you?
Yeah. So I came into the Dominicans, and as I came into the Dominicans, I was like, oh, like maybe I could go get a PhD in sports psychology and do this like sports psych priest, kind of. And then eventually I realized, no, I kind of got to let that go. Right? Because I could see I still just wanted to be I wanted to be now the athlete who was also a priest. And I wanted to be strong, and I want to be able to be, and like another thing. So when my one hip started hurting sophomore year, my other hip started hurting senior year. And then that had just kind of hurt off and on. We couldn't really figure out, with the trainers couldn't really figure out what it was. Yeah. And so eventually, my hips were just hurting. Then I got what's called iritis, which is an inflammation of the iris in the eye. So basically you just have to put drops in for a couple months and keep your eye dilated, which is kind of looks weird. But it adjusts eventually, right? Like, so it was painful at first, but so I got that, and that's connected to something called ankylosing spondylitis, which is an autoimmune disease that causes arthritis in the hips and back. And it turns out my grandma had it and different things. So it was like, oh, that's what I have. That's why my hips are hurting. It's not just, and so I'm like, okay, right. Athlete mentality. I'm going to solve it with diet and exercise. I'm going to be in control. And so I'm learning all this stuff about mobility. When I was in college, terrible mobility. Terrible form on everything, but I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm gonna really be mobile and do all these different exercises that should be good for my hips and everything. And like, so I'm trying to solve this, and then, there's these autoimmune diets. So I cut out all of these different things. I'm eating very particular thing. I'm eating organ meats and things, and like liver doesn't taste good. Doesn't actually. Tried it for a while. Yeah. And then like different things start to flare up. There was a summer where my ankle just swelled up and was swollen for 3-4 months. Wow. And then my other knee swelled up, and my shoulder, I could raise my arm to about here, and my neck was hurting, and my back, and it's just like all of it. Sure. And so like I'm, 25, 26 and like feel like I'm 75, 80. And like I need a railing on the right side in order to go up and down the stairs.
Wow.
Yeah, it was all breaking down, and I'm sitting in praise and worship adoration one day, and it felt kind of like I was being stabbed underneath my shoulder blade to a point like where you can't get to it, just because at that point, because of all these things, my posture is bad, and then that causes more pain, right? Sure. Like, and so I'm sitting there, so I'm thinking about Paul and his thorn in the side, and how and I'm just like, okay, what does he say? His thorn in the flesh, and so I look it up. And then I'm reading, and okay, well, Google, where does that come up, right? Like Second Corinthians, in Second Corinthians. But so I find it, and I go, and it's okay. And so he says, and I asked the Lord 3 times to take this away. And the footnote says that means a lot. That means I asked over and over and over. That doesn't mean I asked 3 individual times.
Oh, wow.
And so it was like, oh, that's me. Like I have asked the Lord so many times to take this away so that I can be strong again, so that I can be in control, right? Like and so
it's like that, even that athlete pride. Like,
oh yeah. And like, I never wanted to show weakness, like I can't move. Like, so like, okay, Lord, yeah, this is me, right? Like, and so then I keep reading on. He says, and the Lord said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. For power is made perfect in weakness.
It's my favorite verse. Side note. Oh.
And like it hit me just like a ton of bricks in that moment of like, I'm still needing to be strong. Of like, I'm trying to solve this all myself. Like I'm trying to be in control. Like I'm trying, and like the Lord is inviting me to surrender, to recognize that it's okay to be weak. And for me, being weak at that moment meant taking stronger medication. Because I didn't want to take that because it like shuts down your immune system and those kind of things. Sure. And I was like, well, yeah, no, not that. But like, I was just taking Celebrex at the time. And like, if I missed it by an hour, I felt it. Like it was, I was taking it twice. And it was just like, it was a point. It was not good. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I got to roll over. But like it's going to hurt, like just to roll over, like, because arthritis swelling gets a lot worse when you rest. So like it's worse at night or right away in the morning, and it loosens up during the day. But I was like, okay, I got to take the stronger medication. And so I went and took it, and then things started getting better. But it was this real realization, like, oh, this is where my identity is. And so even as I'd been a student brother for a couple of years and, living as a Dominican, but like, it's like letting that go is hard. But then I had the new challenge eventually of like, oh, my body feels good again. Now what? Like, now how do I live this? Right. Yeah. Like, and that was an interesting kind of wrestling with that and then going deeper in my faith. And then eventually COVID happens. And I'm like, well, like my body's doing really well. And it's probably not great to be on this medication when there's this big virus. And like, really, it was just an excuse to try to control it again. Right? Because you think I learned the first time, didn't learn the first time, right?
Sometimes we need a couple tries.
Yeah. So I go off of and I talked to the doctor and she's like, yeah, sounds good. Right. And so I went off the medication and went back to a more strict diet and things like that. And then that was, March, April, something like that. And then that summer, at the end of the summer, I was water skiing and I fell kind of hard. And
you wiped out.
Yeah. I was like slalom skiing. And when you slalom ski, you go faster.
Okay.
And then it was too choppy. That was not a good decision, but I ate it. And it was just like, whoa, okay, well, I'm all right. And then later that night, my knee swelled up and my neck started hurting. And I was just like, oh, that's not like, it's just in my head. I'm like, okay, trauma, right? Like, trauma, injury, swelling, my knee swelled up, right? Trauma, swelling, that'll be fine, right? Just wrap it up, all those kind of things. So then about a week or two later, my other knee and my other ankle started swelled up. So it was my right knee first, and then it was my left knee and my left ankle both swelled up. And I was like, well, I'm just favoring those. Right? Like I'm just telling myself this is all just trauma swelling, right? Trauma swelling, arthritis swelling, they're different, right? Like, and so like, okay, so I'll do PT. So I went to physical therapy for like 3 months. Not good. Like at one point from my entire knee down to my ankle, everything swelled up. And I was like, that's kind of weird, right? Like getting out of bed one morning, it's like, I can't put any pressure on my foot.
Wow.
Because like and it's like, I don't know if I'm going to get to the bathroom. That's like 3 feet away, So it's just like, but eventually there was one morning where I woke up, I was like, I got to go back on the medication. And that was clear that morning. And so I surrendered again. And I called the doctor, like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Are you, and she's like, yeah, great. go back on the medication. I'll start the prescription up again. And I still had one in the fridge. It's a shot that you give yourself every couple weeks. And so I took it, and like later that night, I was feeling a lot better. And the Humira that I was taking doesn't work that fast. It takes like 3 weeks, 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 weeks to get into your system.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Lord.
All right. I get it. I get it, Lord. And so that actually just helped me take a step back. Also with the athletic stuff, like, okay. And that summer was also really powerful because I was a deacon, and I just really realized that, like, because I'd wanted to be a professor, or I wanted to like go get a PhD or something like that, because I wanted people to respect me, right? Like I wanted the letters after my name, right?
Yeah,
like
it's just purifying.
It was so clear where the Lord is like, no, like I gave you the heart of a shepherd. Just do that, right? You don't need to do all these other things. And it was just like, okay. Right. Like pastoral, I'll jump into pastoral ministry, and like, And so then I just kind of let go of the athletic stuff a little bit. Then a few years later, the Lord brought it back, but it was really good to actually work on, because it's hard. It's really hard to let go of the identity as an athlete. Cause that's, so for me, it's how I got praised. Yeah.
It's interesting. And I thank you for sharing your story, because you said so many things. I was like, yep. Like, fear of weakness, need to control, identity as an athlete. And so speak into the balance, though, because in some regards, one of my favorite quotes is, John Paul II says, sport is the gymnasium for human virtue. And so sport teaches us so much about virtue and strength and, striving for the imperishable crown, like you said. But at the same time, it can also, because of our own pride. I mean, same thing, right? It's like, there's some things like self-reliance or the need to perform or the need to be perfect that it also can falsely teach us. And it seems like the Lord is, and he's done this in my life, broke those things apart to purify you. But how do our listeners kind of find that balance between sports doing so much good in my life, but I also have to realize the ways that maybe it's closing me off to what the Lord wants to actually do?
Yeah, it's a quote that I actually got from your book, but it was like, God doesn't love you because you play sport, but he does love that about you. Like, and I think there's such a beauty in that, to recognize like, this is a gift that I've been given. That I can, like, it's a gift. And yes, I'm going to take that and I'm going to use it and I'm going to run with it and perform. But like, it is always a gift to be able to move. And so just that like awe and gratitude, I think can be really powerful, and just wonder at like what the Lord has allowed us to do. And just to be able to continue to step back and like, whoa, Lord, like, thank you for this. Because not everybody can run around. Yeah. So I think recognizing the gift, and then just knowing how much he delights in just seeing us, whatever we're doing. And like, this is something that I've really found as a priest, being a spiritual father, and just like watching my children in whatever they're doing. Like, and just seeing, especially when they're like, whether it's sports or music or academics or,
Heisman
jobs
Trophy winner.
or those kind of things, right? Like, just watching them perform, and like, well, like you mentioned with, Fernando, but like, and that was really cool and amazing to watch and be a part of, but like, it's all the other ones also. That nobody else sees.
And it's not like, I mean, he's amazing, but it's not like he's above, right?
Well, it's also watching someone who is struggling mentally, like with anxiety, or has a bad performance and then comes back and has a good performance. You're like, oh, great! Like that's something that's really powerful to watch and to see. It's the little victories. Or someone is in pain. Our wrestlers are always hurt, right? Like, but like, you see him go out and you're like, whoa, right? In the midst of everything that's going on, like they're going out and giving everything.
Yeah.
Like, I know that doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Or just like, we have some divers who they'll jump off a 10-meter platform and do all these flips and then and they're just like, that's insane.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no way I would like, I don't think I'd even jump off that platform, right? Like, it's just like, that is so high. But like, just to recognize that the Lord just delights in simply watching you compete and perform or study. Or like whatever it is, like taking that time to say, okay, I'm going to be intentional about this, or even like being intentional with your friends.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm going to actually take time to grow in this. And like, I think the beauty of sport is it teaches us how to train. Because with our spiritual life, like there is like grace builds on nature. And if I have no discipline in my life at all, I'm probably not going to sit down and pray for 10 minutes a day. I'm not going to dispose myself to receive the grace.
Yeah.
And like all of the, like with virtue, we have the kind of the acquired virtues, which grow by repeated actions. But then we have infused virtues that are infused at baptism and then continue to grow. And they're that which God works in us without us in some ways. And those order us to the supernatural good, right? To the good, like the divine good, rather than just the good that can be known by human reason. But if we don't have acquired virtue, then the supernatural virtue can't really grow because if there's something lower that impedes it, it can't really function at the level that it wants to. And so like the beauty of how it takes effort in the spiritual life, right? The spiritual life takes effort and like, we can't do it on our own, right? There's just cooperative grace, but like, it's always, what is the term? It's non-competitive agency. In how grace works, right? Grace is a big theological term, right? Or we'll think about it and I'll be like, oh, what is grace? Oh, it's a free gift. Yes, but that doesn't tell us anything about it. It just tells us it's free, right? Like, or it's, Aquinas. It's a participation in the divine nature. Awesome. Big theological words, right? Like, so I think easiest way to understand grace is like, it's God helping us, right? It's the way that God comes into our lives. He gives us himself in order to help us to love on a level that he can. Yeah. So with grace, right? And God is giving us grace. So there's an idea it's called non-competitive agency, where competitive agency is like if a car breaks down and, the two of us and somebody else, they steer it. The two of us push a car. It's like you're pushing 50%, I'm pushing 50%, right? Non-competitive agency is you're pushing 100%, I'm pushing 100%, which in the world, that doesn't happen much.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't know an example where that would be the case.
Like,
but that's how it works with God. So where my actions are my actions, but they're also God's actions. And so this way where like we actually get to, yes, they are us, but they're also 100% God. And like without Jesus, we can do nothing.
Yeah.
So like we can't actually do something good without him, right? And so that's so like just recognizing that, he's there also, but like it also takes our own action. So then I think sport can be really good in helping us like, oh, okay, I need to learn how to be disciplined. I need to, know what is good, because virtue is really like ordering everything we do to the ultimate good.
Yeah.
And like in sport, like I mean, you're controlling what you eat. You're controlling how much you sleep, and how like all of these, how you train and what you train and where and why, and like all of these pieces you're controlling, right? And you're willing to sacrifice for this goal. And so that can translate really well into the spiritual life. But then we get the pieces, the identity pieces, and the like, you can even be like, oh yeah, am I more holy than that person? Right, like this person, right? Like, and then
we all struggle with it.
Right, like it's not okay, Lord. Like the goal is, Lord, help me to get 1% better. Like, help me to get a little bit better, or help me to love you a little bit more than I did yesterday. But it's so easy to fall because especially with sport, we're competing against someone. And it's not like we're not competing in the spiritual life.
Yeah. I just want to sit here for like 10 minutes, think about everything you said, which we should all do. But every week we give our audience a takeaway. Based off everything you just said, I can kind of think of two. It's beautiful because you talking about how you delight in your spiritual children, your athletes, is indicative of how the Father delights in us. And I think...
And his is so much greater, right? Because I'm human, right? Like it's that, But it's just beautiful to hear you talk about, because in my prayer is our listeners receive that and they say, oh, but to your point, like the Lord's delight in me is that much more infinite. And so I'd encourage our listeners this week, as you play your sport, but as like, to your point, everything. Sometimes I think, oh yeah, God, you delight so much in this particular gift that I excel at, but he also delights in everything I do. I mean, minus sin,
right? As long as it's ordered towards him. And so I think just like stopping and pausing and taking moments with a grateful heart, as you said, to recognize that. And then I think secondarily is committing to doing that. Like you said, as athletes, we're used to committing to something daily. And so it's a nice thought, like, oh yeah, I'll do that. But can we commit daily to that action? And we've talked, Juliana and I, the past few weeks about committing to daily prayer. That shouldn't intimidate us as athletes, because we know what it is to commit, but sometimes we can be so non-committal because our schedules and everything is just so busy. But just the encouragement, as you said, and I love all the layers, and I want to just go back and listen to that and pray about that, of like grace building on nature. But that means like, in order for me to participate with God, like I got to put in the effort, and it's so interesting.
He can always work, right? Like, because he's God, he can always work, but like, but he wants us to participate. Like, because we're active participants.
And we should, like, that's the beauty of it too. I think sometimes we're just like, okay, God, fix this or do this. And he does, and he can, and he works the miracles. But the real beauty of it is when we commit to the participation of it, because that's where just the adventure and the relationship and everything unfolds. Again, so good. So just that commitment to the participation this week and building that habit, because it is a habit.
Start with 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day is less than 1% of the day, right? 1% is like 14 minutes, 26 seconds or something like that. But like, just 10 minutes a day, right? Just start there, right? Like, if you start with 2 hours, you're going to quit.
Set yourself
pretty quick.
up. So allow the Lord to delight in you. Commit to 10 minutes of time with him. See what happens. I love it. Well, thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome.
If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review wherever you're listening. Share this episode with a friend. It's a really, Father in his story talked a lot about the invitation, inviting others, inviting other athletes, forming Bible studies, inviting people into conversations about faith. This is a really good conversation starter. So feel free to share this episode. Please join our Patreon community, support this podcast, get fun participation with bonus footage. Father and I are going to record and put up there too. And until next week, know of both of our prayers for you. And God bless you.
God bless.
Thank you for joining us. And remember, be fierce.